2026 is here already, and it's looking like it's going to be a pretty insane year. Of course, the big game, Grand Theft Auto 6, is finally coming out, and along with a slew of other games that you've probably seen quite a few videos on talking about Resident Evil and Pragmata and The Blood of Dongwalker or whatever that game is called. But there's a lot of games that people are really excited about, and those games always tend to top those lists of like, these are the games that you should look forward to in 2026. And so I even did a podcast actually a few weeks ago over on Sacred Symbols where we listed out our most anticipated games. For me, Resident Evil, Pragmata, very high. But there's tons of games coming out next year. I'm sure plenty we don't even know about yet. But there's ones that we do know that I wanted to highlight and say, hey, obviously those big games are coming, but don't forget about these ones too, because even when I was putting together this list, some of them I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was coming out. So let's take a look at some of these games you may have been forgetting come out next year. Or wait, no, this year. But before we do that, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Dustin, so glad to have you here. And if you've been here for a while, thank you for all your support in 2025. We've got an awesome year ahead with new videos pretty much every week, hopefully twice a week, and streams on Wednesday nights right here on this channel. So if you don't mind helping me out, a little cheeky subscription goes a long way. I really appreciate it. All right, so the first game I want to highlight is Warhammer Survivors. This announcement, if I remember when the announcement happened, it just kind of came out of nowhere. It wasn't at any kind of event or anything like that. And this is a new Warhammer game, of course, but being that it has the survivors in there, this is a Vampire Survivors game. And initially I saw this and I thought, oh, is this another Vampire Survivors clone? Because there's been many, some pretty good, some not very good, but I've always liked the traditional Vampire Survivors. I went crazy on that game. I have the platinum on PlayStation and I absolutely love that game. Have seen pretty much all of it. Maybe there's a few DLCs that I haven't done, but I love Vampire Survivors. And so when this got announced, I noticed immediately in the trailer, it says it uses the Vampire Survivors engine. And I thought, that's kind of interesting. I wonder what that's going to look like. And the trailer shows off tons of cool stuff in terms of it being both regular Warhammer and Warhammer 40K. And to be honest with you, I'm not a huge Warhammer guy. I played Space Marine 2, but that's about as far as my Warhammer knowledge goes. But I really like that game. I'm interested in the world. I'm just not interested in necessarily reading a bunch of books and getting into little minifigures. I think it's cool. Not my thing. So I could see this game maybe not doing it for everybody if you either didn't care about Vampire Survivors or if you're wanting more than just more Vampire Survivors. But for me, even if this is just a reskinned Vampire Survivors, maybe with new weapons and new levels, I'm in. It's not that hard to please me in this department. So Warhammer Survivors comes out 2026, no date quite yet, and this is Steam only, but you'd have to assume this is going to come to other platforms as well, maybe after launch. The next game that I'm really looking forward to is The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tale. The Millennium Tale? No, it's Millennium Tales, plural. There's multiple tales within the one adventure of Elliot. So this is from the Bravely Default team, and I've not played a Bravely Default game, and it is in the style of the Octopath Traveler games. There's Octopath Traveler 1, 2, there's 0 now. There's also Triangle Strategy. But if you know what I'm talking about in terms of that visual style, Square Enix calls it HD 2D. And what struck me about this one in particular is that these have all been turn-based games, and I love turn-based games, but I haven't really been into Octopath Traveler. The first one, I didn't really like the format with the characters. It's a cool idea, not my thing. And I haven't really tried Triangle Strategy, so maybe I should at some point. But what pulled me in on this one is the fact that it is an action RPG. And immediately from the trailer, this game looks gorgeous, but you don't have to take my word for it. There is a demo out now on Switch 2. And I played that demo a few months ago and I thought, dang, This is pretty sick. The combat was really fun. The dungeons in it were really cool. And you only got a small taste of the story, but I'm intrigued overall by it. And the main thing really is the HD 2D aesthetics are so cool, and they recently did the Dragon Quest 2D HD games, and I really see this as potentially being a big pillar for Square Enix moving forward in terms of maybe remaking some older games as they did with Dragon Quest. And yeah, it would be so cool to see them do either Final Fantasy VI or even Chrono Trigger in this format. But for now, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tale, is looking really promising. And like I said, the demo was really fun. I highly recommend checking it out if you have a Switch 2. For some reason, the demo is only on Switch 2, but this game will be coming to PlayStation, PC as well. The next game is a blast from the past, but in a whole new way, and that is Super Meat Boy 3D. And of course, the OGs remember the Xbox Live days with Super Meat Boy. I remember it coming out there, but I actually fondly remember playing this game on the old PlayStation Vita. And Meat Boy has been floating around there ever since they did the Super Meat Boy Run game, and that was fine. But this is Meat Boy totally in 3D, as the name implies, and it looks awesome. So this is from a team called Sluggerfish, and they did a game called Hell Pie, and I've never heard of this game. I was looking at it on Steam. It looks cool, and the Steam reviews are pretty good. But they have some credentials in terms of 3D platformers, and apparently they are working with Team Meat on this to make sure they get the feeling just right. And just from looking at the trailer, it's clear that they understand what Meat Boy is supposed to be. This isn't like a 3D adventure game like a Mario 3D game or something like that, but very clearly Super Meat Boy in 3D. And in this trailer, they talk about full wall running and air dashing. And they even mention about how they're at the very end of the trailer, we look forward to you rage quitting or something like that. So clearly they understand how difficult it's eventually going to be as you work your way through these stages. And something about Meat Boy, man, that is just so good, so satisfying, and annoying at the same time. But it's the type of annoying that you love. And so to see them take this and bring it into 3D, I love 3D platformers, also love 2D platformers. And so to see them take a fan favorite 2D platformer that is just so mechanically tight and bring that into 3D, it's I'm curious if they'll be able to pull it off, but based on this trailer, I think it looks great. Super Meat Boy 3D does not have a release date yet. It is coming out, though, sometime in 2026. The next game is one that was announced pretty recently, actually, just a few weeks ago, but I have to shout it out again because it looks so cool, and that's Orbitals for the Nintendo Switch. This was originally shown off at the Game Awards. So this is a co-op action platformer game, it looks like, but it is very much in the style of It Takes Two, split screen, and it is required, as far as I can tell, that you need to play this game co-op. But the main thing that sets it apart is, of course, the visuals. It looks exactly like an 80s anime to a T, and not just reminiscent of, but like literally you could have potentially told me that this was based on an anime from the 80s, and I would have believed you. My wife Holly and I played It Takes Two and Split Fiction. We really like both of those games. Stylistically, though, I wasn't really into either one of them all that much. And surprise, surprise, they make an anime co-op game, of course. We're both going to be interested in. And I think this game just looks so cute, super charming. And man, they really nailed the style. So keep an eye out on this one. No firm release date yet. There's been a reoccurring thing with these games. I guess I knew this about myself, but I really deeply care about art style in games. And this next one is so good. It's Mouse PI for Hire. And I got to see a behind closed doors demo of this game at Summer Game Fest. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's taking, you can't really call it the Cuphead style. It's a 1930s cartoon era. Obviously, Cuphead brought that to video games, but it's not just a Cuphead clone. This is a full first-person shooter game in a black and white 1930s cartoon style. And it's clear that they were so dedicated to getting the look and feel right. And the fact they're making a game fully in black and white is actually pretty sick. My main takeaway from the demo at Summer Game Fest was it's not just a Doom clone or a boomer shooter with this style. It is called Mouse PI for hire, and so there is detective work that you do in the game, so you're not just running around aimlessly shooting. Now, I remember there being an element of there was multiple ways to handle a mission in terms of how you want to go in and accomplish your goals. So yeah, this game comes out March 19th, and I just think it looks so cool. I love seeing developers do crazy things like this. Obviously, Cuphead began with this style, but seeing them take that and turn it into a whole new direction, I think it looks really promising. The next game is one that I'm a little unsure of, but I am open-minded to it because the first game I didn't really like, and that is Code Vein. Code Vein 2 comes out January 30th. I also saw a demo for this at Summer Game Fest, and it looks pretty interesting. It looks like they're taking Code Vein 1 and really evolving it. It's easy to lump Code Vein into all of the deluge of Souls-like games that have come out, but it's important to remember at the time, Code Vein was one of the first AAA Souls-like games after the Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne boom, and to see a new company other than From Software try to take this style and make a big game out of it. Fortunately, it didn't necessarily hit for everybody. Like I said, it didn't hit for me, but sequels honestly are where things can really evolve and turn into something great. And I think the main takeaway that I saw from Code Vein 2 is that they are doing a more open world style. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to mean, whether that's going to be more of an Elden Ring style adventure. I think it's in a city, so maybe not quite the same, but I could see it being pretty interesting, of being more open-ended in terms of what you want to do. There is a cool motorcycle in this game. I've been burned specifically with Metroid Prime 4 about being cool motorcycles, but I'm still open to it. So yeah, Code Vein 2 very soon, January 29th. Hopefully I can get a video for you guys out here on this channel around the time when it comes out. Okay, the last game I want to highlight, and if you listen to Sacred Symbols, you've heard me say this numerous times. I'm telling you to believe me, trust me on this one. I mean, who knows, maybe it ends up not being good, but from everything I've seen, it looks so good, and that is Crimson Desert. I didn't get to play this game at Summer Game Fest, but Brad did, which check out his channel, by the way. I'll have it linked below. Brad got to play this game, and I was sitting right beside him watching him play it, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. So originally started, I believe, as a sequel to Black Desert Online, but they ended up making it a single-player offline game. And this game, when you first see the trailers, in fact, if you go and look on YouTube and you look at the comments, people are like, well, this game looks a little bit too good to be true. Hopefully it actually is able to pull it off. And I can tell you, at least from the visuals and the mechanics, it looks like they're really going to. It's a mix of a bunch of games at once. It looks like it's got really cool action combat along with some Zelda Breath of the Wild style traversal. It's got like gliding and grapple hooks and huge epic battles along with crazy particle effects, whether you like that or you don't. It's there, and it looks just absolutely insane. I think the open world is going to be just such a big part of this game, and that's probably the part that I'm worried about them being able to pull off the most, because the combat looks awesome, and the open world, there's clips of flying dragons and, like I said, gliding and using a grapple hook, flying around. It all looks so good. I think the main question I have is just about how all of these awesome looking pieces are going to combine together, and will it be cohesive? And I'm going to go on a limb. I'm usually very negative, but I am so positive on this game. I really, really hope it's good, because everything we've seen so far just looks incredible. So Crimson Desert, that's March 19th on PC or PlayStation, Xbox, and I'll be there day one for it. So that's it. Those are the main games I wanted to highlight that maybe you weren't thinking about for 2026 with your GTAs and your Resident Evils and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm still so excited about those games. Resident Evil in particular, man, can't wait for that. Dragon Quest Reimagined looks awesome too. It sounds like we are going to be eating so well this year. And it just seems like, man, every year there's just so many games now. So many great games. Hopefully we can keep up with them. And of course, I'll be covering them here on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead. It's free. It won't cost you anything, and I'm going to be making tons of videos. So thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comments what games you think people are sleeping on that are coming out in 2026. Maybe that I'm sleeping on. Let me know down in the comments, and I will check them out. Maybe we can feature them in a future video. So that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.